On this episode of Project JoJo, you're going to see me struggle to push a car, sweep the garage floor, and stand precariously on a ladder. This is Delusional Motorsports. First things first, JoJo needs a bath. She's been collecting decades of dust and grime, so she is in desperate need of a deep clean. I've got to gut the interior and find a corner of the shop to hoard all of these parts. The passenger door has seen better days, but nothing a little elbow grease can't fix. Now, the driver's door. It's actually in decent shape, but apparently is refusing to separate from JoJo. Seriously? I'm getting outmaneuvered by a stationary object? Get your shit together, man, it's just the door. The front fender is next, and it too is surprisingly clean. And of course, the obligatory test fit. Yeah, that's the stuff. Oh, and this. I'm about 60% sure this wasn't supposed to come out yet. We'll just put that in the maybe pile. Time for the rinse. Now, the goal is to keep the water outside the car, which, given the lack of a windshield, doors, or a sunroof, is basically an Olympic level challenge. It's less of a car wash and more of a localized flood. But you guys know the rest. You've washed a car before. Hold up. You guys want to see something cool? Check this out. Anyway, before I get flagged for that performance, let's get back to the actual car. Now that she's clean, we're stripping the rest of the sheet metal. I need to clear the fenders and decklid and then tackle the wiring harness, which, spoiler alert, I have zero patience for today. First, the fenders. I need to remove the wheels to gain access to the bolts. Since the car sat outside for the better part of 2 decades, the lug bolts are coming out surprisingly easy. Oh, spoke too soon. Look at him struggling on the last one. Going for a cheater bar? What a bitch. Now with the wheel off, it's looking a little dusty and crusty in here, so I hit it with a shop vac real quick and clean that up. With access to all the hardware, I can remove each one by one. And off comes the fender. Graceful. And of course, we have to repeat for the remaining fenders. Next up, the hood. Usually, this is a 2-person job, so grab a friend and have them help you with the other side. But since I don't have any friends, I'm using a 3-foot pipe and a screwdriver as a temporary third hand. It's not OSHA approved, but it lets me clear one side, jump to the other, and the hood is free. The decklid is a simple job in my case, only 2 bolts, and the spring wasn't even installed correctly, so no worries there. Now that all the sheet metal has been removed, we can focus on this wiring monstrosity here. We're going to remove this one piece at a time and end up with a clean frunk. To remove all of that wiring, I need to remove the instrument cluster. To remove the speedometer, it looks like I need to have access to these bolts from the other side. With the bolts loose, I can spin out the speedo and twist off the speedo cable and disconnect any wiring. I started out being careful with the harness removal, but then a thought struck me. I don't actually need any of this. So goodbye patience, hello tin snips. We're hacking it out and ripping it clear. Before moving on to the rear of the car, the hood hinges have to go. Pro tip, keep the hinge in the open position so it doesn't try to uppercut you while you're removing the bolt. The spring is held in with an internal E-clip. I don't have the right tool to remove it, but a flathead screwdriver makes light work of it. I can remove the remainder of the harness by giving it a sharp pull, and the wiring harness is out. Next, I'll move on to removing the glass. Removing the glass is fairly straightforward. You take a sharp box cutter and run it deep into the seal all the way around the window. Once the outer portion of the seal is cut away, the glass might still be clinging on to the inner portion of the seal. You can either cut the seal on the inside of the car, or just give the window a slow, firm push all the way around the seal until it decides to join the rest of the parts pile. Then repeat the process for the driver's side glass and for the rear glass. And of course, make sure you forget to actually record the removal of the glass. No one wanted to see that anyway, right?
JoJo is officially a shell. Next time, the body comes off. But before I can do that, I need to build the chassis table. So I have a lot of welding to do before we can separate this body from the pan. I'm putting all my tool and equipment build videos in a separate series. So if you want to see how the shop comes together, stay tuned for that. And remember, hit that subscribe button. And thanks for being part of the madness here at Delusional Motorsports. Let's get back to work.